Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, we from Group 2 will present our poetry analysis entitled All Legendary Obstacle by John Montague. Group member, Rozabiatul Silvani, Sarray Ghailan, and me, Winibhawa Mulya Ingprabha Madani. Next, biography, John Montague, 28 February 1929 until 10 December 2019, was an Irish poet. Born in America, he was raised in Ireland. He published a number of volumes of poetry, two collections of short stories, and two volumes of memoir. He was one of the best-known Irish contemporary poets. In 1998, he became the first occupant of the Ireland Chair of Poetry, or essentially Ireland's Poet Laureate. In 2010, he was made a Cavalier de la Légion d'Honneur, France's highest civil award. Next, All Legendary Obstacle by John Montague. All legendary obstacles lay between us. The long imaginary plain, the monstrous rock of mountains, and swinging across the night, flooding the Sacramento, San Joaquin, hissing drift of winter rain. All day I waited, shifting nervously from station to bar as I saw another train sail by. The San Francisco Chief or Golden Gate, water dripping from great flanked wheels. At midnight you come, pale above the negro potter's lamp. I was too blind with rain and tough to speak, but reacted from the platform until our chilled hands met. You had been traveling for days with an old with an old with an old lady who marked a neat circle on the glass with her glove to watch us move into the wet darkness, kissing, still unable to speak. Next, summary. The poem begins with speaker describing how there seems to be endless obstacle in his way. They are standing between where he is now, train station, and his lover who is journeying toward him. This person is on a train, moving through the flooded imaginary landscape. He doesn't know exactly what's there, but it's in the way. In the next lines, the speaker expresses his worry that his lover won't get there. Another train goes by, and it's not the one the one he wants. Finally, at midnight, his partner's train arrives and the person disappears. They embrace while observed by an old woman through one the fogged up train windows.
And the next is the Port Life Connection and the reason. The poet in the later 1950s, Montague moved to California, where he attended the University of California at Berkeley, but after a year decided to return to Ireland. In the poetry, all legendary obstacles mention Sacramento, a city, and San Joaquin, a country in California that is connected through a river, also known as the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. The poet also mentioned the Golden Gate. The Golden Gate is a bridge that is located in San Francisco and is the most iconic bridge in America. Also, the San Francisco Chief is a train that crosses the Bay Area of San Francisco. This showed that the poet's past life was inspired by the real situation about the city as mentioned above. The poet also imagined if the Sacramento San Joaquin Delta overflowed and might create a flood that will be another obstacle to meet with his lover. In the poet, also the Golden Gate that became a bridge that the lover has to go through to be arrived at the bay. In the poet, the man waiting for his lover patiently Well, keep seeing the train sailing by until her lover come in the midnight. And the cultural reference. The cultural reference. The poetry mentioned the racism of black people in the At Midnight You Came Pale above above the porter lamp, because people still call black people with the N word, and the N porter is a black man whose job is to work on sleeper trains. The character also could be a black person because it was mentioned that the man lover is not traveling alone, but rather accompanied by an old lady. The old lady also keeps an eye even if the woman has already arrived at her destination and can reunite it again with her lover. All the things they have been through are paid for after they meet each other again at the end of the poem. And the next.
Next is my turn. About title and theme. A legendary obstacle is a poem that we analysis. The poem is about a man nervously waiting his lover at a train station. The proven is in stanza 2, line 1 until 2. All day I wait, shifting nervously from station to bar. The theme of his poem is a love struggle. The proven from the vibes, the feeling, and the things that people do when he fights for his lover. This poem want to share the feeling or experience when you fight for someone. Next, it is about figure of speech. Stanza 1, line 2 plain is about what he feel when he fight for his lover. Next is in line 3, monsters rock of mountains is about the condition of he and his lover. He and his lover have to be in difficult condition and impulse for each other. Stanza 2, in line 3, sail is about transportation like train that his lover used to meet with him. This is related with her journey. Next in line 4, by the San Francisco chief of Golden Gates. It is about the obstacle that his lover must pass it to can meet with him. Next in line 5, Flake Wheels is about the things that it keeps his lovers. Stanza 3, line 2, Porter's lamp is about the condition is a drug. Even it have a lamp, it means that he is not sure that his lover was in above the lamp. Stanza 4 in line 5 with darkness is about the condition when they meet. It is dark and rain. Next, in this slide is about tone and mood. Tone is the feeling displayed by the author toward the subject of the poem. The author feel fair, worry, and doubt that he can meet with his lover. The example in stanza 3, we can feel the vibes that author doubt to meet with his lover. Next is mood. In this poem, the mood is confusing and quiet clearly. The reader will feel confused because the word that author use a lot of figures of speech. The reader must read again and again to understand it, and then maybe translate the figure of speech. Next, the reader will feel quiet clearly because some of the word in the poem is easy to understand. We think that read it twice or three times, we can understand the meaning of the poems.
The interesting water imagery in poetry, all. Legendary obstacle. A legendary obstacle mention water imagery in every stanza. The poet represent the water to become an obstacle with different kinds of imagery that keep being in the way of the man. Subsequently, the water becomes part of the character's journey to meet with each other. The first imagery is the flooding the Sacramento San Joaquin. The second imagery is the hissing drift of winter rain. The wind The water imagery that becoming an obstacle to the man that keeping him away from his lover. The third water imagery is the sailing train. I was too blind with rain. The rain makes him top in decision to talk to her and top to speak. The wet darkness and imagery of water obstacle are still preventing them to see each other and freezing from the wet clothes. In the end, the went through every obstacle they have to go through beside the situation from an unknown or unfamiliar place, the winter rain, the rivers that gets in the way, blinded by the rain and covered with wet clothes, while freezing in the middle of the night, doesn't stop the lover from felt happy and grateful. Even the situation is really hard for both of them. They are actually happy to finally meet again that no word could explain their feelings and gratitude towards their journey to be together. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for watching. And this is all that we present to from our group for from the poetry all legendary obstacles. And we hope you enjoy. And if you have any comments or if you have any questions, you can ask the question in the Sipajar. And thank you. Have a great day.